Hello, this is Tony at Code Leakers telling you about my brand new program that allows you to insert custom MIDI files into your Super Mario 64 extended ROM. Now, when you open up the folder that you download, the first thing you're going to notice is all these random files, but there's only two real things that you're going to really need to worry about, which is the actual exe itself, which is n64mus.exe, and then your MIDI file, which you're going to put in the root of the Mario 64 music folder. But I provided one, it's going to come with it, and it's going to be the Adventure Time theme. I also provided a ROM. I'm not going to suggest use any other ROMs because it has to be this file name exactly with that file extension for the program to recognize it. So you can copy and paste it if you have multiple projects you're working on. I'll be fixing that in future versions so you can use your own ROM. Alright, but let's jump right into it. I'm going to play this as an example of what I'm going to be using. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Adventure Time theme, and once you have your MIDI file in the root folder, all you're going to want to do is open the program up. And it's going to send you to the first tab, which is MIDI to MML conversion. And what this does is it converts your MIDI to a .mml format. So once you get to here, you're going to type in your MIDI's exact file name, including the file extension, and you're just going to hit convert, and it should convert to this file. It should be the exact file name, but with an added .mml format. Now you're going to go to MML cleanup, and what that does is it fixes the octaves. Now when you convert from the MIDI to MML file, it doesn't sound exactly correct. It messes up the notes. So what this does is it's going to clean it up and make it sound a lot better. And this is what comes out. It's going to add another .mml to it. Now this is where things get a little complicated. Unfortunately, the program freezes up on this screen. I mean, you can switch between tabs, but there's no real functionality. So what you're going to need to do after you do that step is just end it. I'm working on a fix for this, but right now it's not that big a problem. You just open it right back up. And you go to the next tab, which is MML to M64. But we're not going to do that right now. Next, we're going to have to do is open up the previously created .mml file in Notepad. Make sure it's in Notepad. You can use other programs, but I'm just going to suggest Notepad. And first thing you're going to notice is that it has these channel things. So like in my case it's channel 2 and channel 3. It's not always going to be in order. It could be random things. But you're going to have to make note of the channel numbers. So in this case it's going to be channel 2 and channel 3. So what you're going to want to do is, like I said, remember the exact channel number and then erase in between the two brackets and put pound and then that number. You don't have to add 0 if it's a single digit number. And then space it. And do the same with every single other one. Now, depending on the length of your MIDI file, mine is very short, so there's only 2. But you could have up to 70 of these. I've done songs that take a long time to do, but it just takes patience. So you want to space it down 3 times and put a W and a T. The W stands for volume, which I'm going to put as 200 because the 200 is the average. There's no extra loud, and there's no a little bit above loud. It's always just average or below. So we can't do 2150. You can do 150 if you want background music, or like let's say 30 if you're doing like a sound effect. But in this case I'm just going to use the average 200. And T stands for tempo, or beats per minute, BPM. In my case you can look up your songs BPM online, but in my case it's 180, so I'm going to do 180. And you're just going to want to save it and exit out. Now you can go back to the program now. Okay, now you can go back to the program and go to the MML to M64 conversion, which is going to convert the MML file to an M64 format. So what you're going to want to do is enter the exact file name excluding the file extension. Including, not excluding, sorry. And what you're going to want to do is convert. And you're going to see it's going to say it's 9 too long. What that means is that this name's extremely long. So you're going to want to shorten it. But you're also going to want to shorten the file name itself, or it's not going to find it. Alright. So once you find your file, it's going to be the one with two .mmls. you're going to rename it to whatever you shorten it to. In some cases, you may not even have to rename your file, but in my case, the file name was too long for the program to recognize it. So once you enter your file name, you're going to put convert, and it should bring up command prompt, and if it should be a success. It will tell you if it's not. Once that's done, you're just about done. It should make the M64 file, and you're going to want to open up your insert M64 file to ROM. Now, yet again, you're going to enter your file name. In this case, you're going to have to, in my case, I'm going to have to shorten it, but the program automatically puts the name in, but it should be whatever your name, .mml.m64. Now, right here, it shows level number lookup. Now, you can choose what level you want to insert it to. In my case, I'm doing the Super Mario 64 music title. And what you're going to want to do is, this little slider up here doesn't affect it. It's only down here where you enter the actual number. So if I were to put 08 and then not change this number down here, it wouldn't affect it. But what you're going to want to do is find the level you want and then enter the number that's next to it. So 02. And then push insert. And that's a success. So your ROM's all ready to use. Now, I use Project 64, but you can use any emulator, or you can even load it into a .dol file to play on your Nintendo Wii or GameCube. And just load it up. Oh, wrong folder. Once you load it up, it should work perfectly fine unless you had an error, and you should repeat the process.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Also, there's an M64 sequence clean.exe, and you can drag your ROM into that, and it allows you to remove all music files. And as always, have a nice day. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.